If you've been on the internet for a while, or even growing up in the 90s, you may be familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh!, a trading card game that blew up thanks to the support of the anime and the release of the card game boom. As years went on, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has evolved tremendously with new summon mechanics, core changes to the field itself, restrictions on both the deck and extra deck side, and of course, over the years of the game, power creep has been introduced, meaning that Yu-Gi-Oh! Sets released 10 years ago are vastly inferior in general compared to the sets being released today. As time went on, Konami had dipped their hands into new formats such as the Generation formats, which unfortunately never really saw much traction, along with new ways to play the game, such as Duel Links, which is a much more condensed version of the traditional game, along with utilization of skills to give yourself an edge during the game. After the release of Duel Links, we were greeted with a simple spin-off dubbed Rush Duels in Japan. Several years later, a worldwide release of Rush Duel game made its way entitled Yu-Gi-Oh! Dawn of the Rush Duel Battle Royale, which is its first true dive into the Rush Duel format in 2022 on an official Konami brand product that was released worldwide. With the history lesson over, let's get started to the actual review. Now, for the too long didn't read version, Rush Duel format is played using entirely new design cards for the format, unlimited amount of normal summons, and the same field outline for Duel Links, so the 3x3 format versus the 5x5 plus 2 link zones. If you want a full more explanation of the Rush Duel format, click the video in the description and the pinned comment in a depth comparison between Rush Duels and standard duels. Is Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel Dawn of the Battle Royale worth it? Well, yes and no. Here's why. So with the story, it's what you would expect. You are the new kid in a town with hair that also has its own identity crisis, living a new life in the Goha city, starting school at Goha number 7 and meeting the cast of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime series. Now, of course, the whole city is enamored with Rush Duels, and thus a huge company decides to throw the ultimate tournament, kind of like the Battle City arc in the original series, and the winner of the tournament will have their greatest desire granted. Quite a prize if you ask me, but of course, as a new student, you are not familiar to this new world of card games, and after learning from Yugioh, the creator of the format and the protagonist from that series, you learn how to play the game, along with entering the tournament to make new friends along the way due to having a powerful spirit that attracts everyone to your award-winning personality. I'm gonna keep spoilers here as well due to the fact that it's still a relatively new game and don't want to spoil it for those who are excited for the game. Now again, being an anime card game, the story isn't really supposed to be the selling point, it's mainly the gameplay, and that's shown here. The story at the heart does its job, but at no point did I really ever get blown away. It's just there for the convenience of moving things along to try to make the tournament itself more exciting. The most important aspect, the gameplay. How is it? Is it worth dropping $40? Well, personally, I don't think so. A lot of the games these days does portray the open world, their vast areas to explore, provide some means to do so. However, this game, if you play it as intended, fails to live up to that. One of the biggest pain points in this game is the laziness of it all. When you boot up nearly any area in the overworld, you can simply walk a few steps, and when you do, you will notice several characters that are literally copy and pasted models to make the world feel more full. This feels very lazy and uninspired. Plus, it's kind of creepy. Another problem is the game itself by design as intended to be played. If you were to play the game as intended, any money and packs you obtain are rather useless due to the fact that deck building is locked behind either completing the main story of the game or by entering the Konami code at a specific location within the game. This location and code are on screen for your viewing pleasure. This game truly provides more streamlined approach by providing you deck codes. These deck codes are pre-built decks you are expected to go through the entire game. Sure, it works and it may be a great way to learn the game and try decks you may not have otherwise used. However, at times, mainly the fun of any trading card game is the aspect of progression and deck building. By playing the game, proceeding through the story, and getting that excitement you get after finally pulling that one card you need to take your deck to the next level, by removing that ability making your own decks, then what's the point of even buying packs or grinding for in-game currency? It mainly saves it for the post-game, in my personal opinion, or when you drop in that Konami code as mentioned earlier. But at that point, unless you're sold on the gameplay, you probably won't be coming back to it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duels are fundamentally the same as a regular game. By using monsters, spells, and traps, your objective is to reduce your opponent's life points to 0, or use an alternate win condition such as making your opponent have 0 cards left in their deck. And that's the thing, that's all this video game is. It's mainly Rush Duels. To be fair, Rush Duels are quite fun and a breath of fresh air in comparison to the regular duels we've been accustomed to since 1999. At first. However, a major flaw is due to the limited card pool and the lack of replayability. Most of this is coming from a single player aspect. I'm sure the online multiplayer may be a different story, but if you're not sold onto the Rush Duel format, nothing will really change besides the difficulty of your opponents. Considering we are in 2022 and how much games have expanded their horizons and what they can be, this game feels it's a dated release from an aspect of an early card game such as the early to mid 2000s. In a recent release of a different anime card game, Shadowverse Champions Battle, there is so much more to it. Both games offer the 3D overworld with areas to explore, but with Shadowverse Champions Battle, it goes the extra mile by encouraging you to play all the deck classes through the Use Fit story within the tournament, while still allowing you the choice to build your own deck the way you want to within the certain codes, and provide side quests and of course, social link aspects similar to the Persona games by Atlas. And of course, having more unique character sprites and models throughout the game, with a robust amount of voice acting and a star-studded cast for the anime genre, and the constant use of 3D models even in dialogue. Personally, I could easily see how Konami could have added social links to this game, since it's evident in the game that the characters can be more fleshed out and overcome some of their obstacles, but opted not in order to have the player focus mainly on the Rush Duels themselves. Ultimately, this game suffers a bit in terms of innovation that Konami is desperately needed when it comes to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games. Though I will acknowledge that even some of the 5Ds card games and the Generation X video games had motorcycle building capabilities and schooling, respectively, which added a nice fun little dynamic to it, if I do say so myself. All in all, Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel Battle of the Dawn Royale may be the only form of media we will get for the Rush Duel format, and that's a shame due to how much it missed the mark on so many aspects that could have helped this game reach its full potential. Playing it safe and throwing together what worked on a previous generation handheld years ago only highlights the lack of innovation this game has and how little it seems Yu-Gi-Oh! Games are able to evolve. Simply put, if you love the Rush Duel system, I would recommend this. However, if you're not sold onto it at a price tag, I would either wait for a sale or maybe check out other Yu-Gi-Oh! Simulators, such as Dueling Book to get your plays in. May not be the same card pool, but it'll certainly get the job done. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry if this review made it seem like I hate the game, and that's just not the case. It's more just disappointed what it turned out to be. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section if you played this game or not, or even if you plan on to. Subscribe for more awesome content, and of course, if you want to be a part of the live streams I tend to use for my reviews, definitely check out my Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/Metallic Aerox. We would love to have you there. Take it easy, everyone. Until next time.